Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, to a surprising midweek video. I'm a bit surprised myself. And I am working more on the short story, and I learned that I need a new set piece. In this case, I need some kind of medieval dungeon space. So I decided I'm going to make one. Took me a bit of Monday and Tuesday to actually get to this part, so I haven't made any scenes with it yet, but this is something that I will do in the next few days or on the weekend, I don't know. There is a lot more scenery I need, or not a lot more props I need to make for this dungeon to work, or to convey the content I want. So yeah, speaking of the dungeon itself, you can see the render at the end, and I'm gonna talk about a few things that gave me quite a bit of trouble. So first things first, I made the floor. You can see I'm extruding all the pieces, and from the get-go I should have used symmetry to just half the time for the floor, but yeah, that is on me. I also extruded the walls, as you can see, simply for the idea that I wanted to have the walls actually modeled, the stone, so to say. First I had the idea to like move a few stones, like make it look less regular, but it is like it is, and I'm happy with how this looks, so I will keep it as it is for now. And yeah, the walls were much quicker because I used the symmetry tool to just make those. And yeah, this is basically the first iteration of the cell or dungeon, however you want to take this. And the first iteration was quite okay. You can see me setting the seams for the bump maps, and even that looked quite good. So basically I just grabbed all the edges and cut the back wall into 3 pieces, and the whole thing worked quite well, looked quite good. But, big but, when I put this in the scene and I tried to like just set up the camera so I could see how it looks, I learned that this was way too small. And I had to retouch it, which we will go about in a bit, because that is the other part of this video. Yeah, basically, first time I tried to cut this, it didn't really work, so I had to do the seams twice. Cut this up correctly. Or first I just tried to like unload it and see how good it was, but as you can see, it doesn't really work that well. So I cut this up into pieces, and yeah, made my own UV maps. And for anyone who says, hey, Murloc, why are you not using the pre-made cube surface? Shouldn't this work perfectly? Yes, and you would have saved me a shit ton. You would have saved me a few hours of work. I tried to make this manually. This one looked quite okay. At this point it looked quite okay when I put it over into DES. But I learned, hey, this is too small, so I have to like fix it a bit. And the second iteration, at the very end, you will see me struggle and fight through the UV maps until I finally was like, okay, I'm just gonna try the pre-made UV maps. How does the cube look? It looked perfectly, and I was like, ah, shit. I just wasted probably 90 minutes on UV maps that I could have just made in 30 seconds with a click. Surprisingly enough, the whole thing never once broke. Like, the whole thing never once... Hexagon didn't shut down. It worked. It did all the things, and I'm quite happy with that. As for a bit more dungeon interior, I wanted to have like a cool pillar, so I made a cool pillar. I'm quite happy with the pillar actually. And then I wanted to make like some kind of lamp. I'm still working out how lights in Death work. I got a few steps further, but it is still a nightmare kind of to work with the in-engine lighting modes and models. I mean, I kind of got it to work, but kind of is only half the thing. But yeah, back to the model. I did the lamp, and I actually added a bit of a fire. You can see me like model a sphere into some kind of fire. Here it is just a very simple model, because I didn't want to overdo this one, because it is going into an already loaded scene. As for that, I cannot show you much, but what I can tell you is I basically loaded all these scenes, all the assets into one scene, all the backgrounds, all the rooms, all the stuff that I did, like the castle that I used for the soldiers last year. I used the little medieval cabin that I used, I think 4 or 5 years back for a thing that I made. Yeah, and they're all in the same scene, and I'm making my different pictures by going a few frames, going a few frames forward, and then basically posing everything like I wanted to. But yeah, so the thing was too small, and what I did is basically I copy pasted the thing a few times, stuck it together with itself. You can see that here, cutting up the wrong part, because obviously I should have cut up the part with the back, but I somehow didn't do that, because it is a morning shift week. I'm really tired. I didn't recognize what I was doing. So this is the thing, right? I'm adding a bit more background things here, like some kind of chain thing that is hanging on the wall. It is a kind of medieval torture dungeon thingy, I guess. Inspired loosely by Disenchanted, which is a great thing. I rewatched it recently, and I could actually rewatch it again right now. Even though I just finished it this week, it is really amazing. Great work. We're so glad we have this, we as humanity. But yeah, back to the model. I'm adding a bit of detail here. I'm adding just a bit of feeling, so to say, to the whole thing. So this looks more lively, I guess, more realistic, more detailed, without controlling the scene, in my opinion. And yeah, I still hadn't gone and done the UV maps for the background, because I was absolutely sure that this would be a total mess, and of course it was. So yeah, more details. I'm adding a hanging chain to this, because why not? Dungeons usually have chains. I used 2 pictures of magic cards as reference. One was Enter the Dungeon, which is from an unset, which I really liked, and used as a reference point here. But yeah, making this a chain, making it look kind of okay by twisting every second of the chain link, so it is an actual chain. This also helped with making the whole thing look less weird. Yeah, and then I basically just gave it one big UV map, because I forgot to do that before. No, actually, because I welded everything into one piece, and then I have to do a new UV map, which was the thing that screwed me over first, because I was like, okay, maybe the background just kept the remaps and I can just use it again. So no, it didn't. All the remaps broke, so I put them back in and was hoping for the best. And here I will show you what the best looks like. You can see all the maps are horribly broken on this. So yeah, I basically just grabbed the cube UV map and it worked quite perfectly. So yeah, thanks for watching. Enjoy the render of the dungeon, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you guys around.